bowl with water in it, paper towel, paintbrush, egg carton or some kind of paint palette. Oh, again, aluminum foil at home works. A plate with saran wrap on it works at home. Okay, and we got all our paints nice and individually packaged for y'all. Got it all ready to go. We still probably won't use black and white, but not yet. We're going to focus on the color mixing part. Can you have tape? Oh, that's right. Yes. There you go. I'm sorry, I forgot that yesterday. Okay. So we're going to start with our secondary colors. Okay, so red and yellow mixed together make the one in between it. Red and yellow are what we use to make all of these in between it. We're going to start with orange. Okay, so I've got my red. You don't need a lot for these little squares. And how do you put it in here? You kind of just scoop it. Okay, I'm getting enough that I can make enough. And now it's getting on that metal part, I know. If you want to use something other than a paintbrush to scoop it, you can. But that's what we've got in class here. Okay? And now I need to dip into yellow. Can I just dip straight into yellow? Nope. I gotta rinse it. And again, rinse by just lightly going at the bottom of your bowl and checking it. Don't stab your brush and ruin its bristles. Let's see. Okay, check, did I get it all off? Probably not yet. Oh no, it's still red. Definitely don't want to dip it into the yellow and contaminate the yellow while it's still red. Rinsing out some more. There we go. Okay, now I'm ready to scoop my yellow into that section. And the yellow is a lot thinner and lighter than the red, so it might take quite a bit. If you want to, I'm scared to pour it. I don't know. We're going to try it. It worked all right. Okay, mix it up. How are we doing? Does that look orange? Oop, I shouldn't have done that. You can wipe that up. Luckily it fell on a part that already had paint on it. I actually think that looks more like red orange to me, because that yellow is so thin. So I'm going to add a little more yellow. The yellow just kind of gets eaten up by the red, the intensity of the red. Does that seem better, you think? I still think a little more yellow. Really is a judgment call on your part. And I'm just trying to think ahead that, okay, I've got red, orange. It needs to look different than what I've got right here. Okay, that looks good. I've gotten my brush very dirty. We'll definitely need to wash it with soap and water today. At the top, I'm gonna wipe it right now too, some, because I don't want it to get on my fingers, and then I touch the paper inadvertently. There we go. Okay, so I'm painting orange, and I already have it labeled. It takes the guesswork out of it. You're less likely to make a mistake with paint if you have it labeled. Okay, so just like yesterday, you pull the paint, you don't push it. Rest your hand on the table so you get a nice clean line. You don't want your brush to be full of water because it waters down the paint. It makes it streakier. That's a good orange. It did require quite a bit of yellow. It wasn't like the 50-50 proportions we got used to when we did it in pencil, because this yellow paint just has a different texture. It's a lot thinner. Go slowly when you're doing line work. You can speed up a little bit when you're doing the main part, the body of it. And just like yesterday, I'm still using that medium brush that you got in your supply packet. How we doing, virtual people? And I'm trying to smooth out and flatten any big lumps of paint, any big streaks. Okay, I'm going to go check on people. I'll be right back. Okay, so Tony, and brushes. And then I'll get into the egg carton. Check the egg carton on the bottom. If it has holes, you need to tape over it, okay? And we're going to use this paint for this project, or I'm going to use it for another one. Toothpicks are for a later project too. Egg cartons. How's our orange coming along? Good. So if there's any holes like that, put tape. Okay. Keep labeling so this way you're ready. Good, Michael. Yes, okay, and Yanni's figured out what we're doing next is, where else did you label orange on your sheet? Put it there, okay? Good job, Yanni. Okay, so next step, I've done it on the wheel. Do I have orange labeled anywhere else on my sheet? Okay, I put it here. You might not have put it in your intensity scale. You might have picked a different set of complements. But I put it here, so I'm going to paint it here. Oh, I have it in the warm colors. You should have that one too. You might have picked it for your monochromatic pure color. If you put orange right there, do it there. And we have it in our triadic one, if you picked the secondary triad. If you picked primary, you don't. Okay, but you can go in and fill in any colors you see that are labeled. So for instance, if you did red, yellow, blue in your triad, you can use those like you did yesterday. Okay, I have orange there, so I'm going to paint orange there again. Your triad might have been different colors. Okay, so I did orange there and triad. I have an orange here, which you have too, in the warm color row of 6 boxes. Orange is right in the middle. Okay, and then I put orange and blue as my complements. You might have red and green, you might have yellow and violet. So if you don't have orange here, don't do what I do right now. But if you did choose those as your complements, again, fill in anywhere you see your color. See how this is saving time? I don't have to go back and make orange again later just to move on to these boxes. think that's all my oranges. Double check. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to get another paper towel. I'm going to move on to the next step. If you're still working, that's okay. All right? It makes sense that I'm a little faster, but some people are already ready. I love it. I think it'd be a good idea, since I have this orange made, to go ahead and do red orange and yellow orange. Okay? Instead of moving on to the next secondaries. Because we already have it made and it looks really good. And since I'm still going to do good habits here and wash my brush. Because when I dip into yellow, I don't want to contaminate it. So we're going to make the tertiaries, the intermediate, the in-between colors next. Okay, let's test and make sure my brush is clean. Not quite. That's better. Okay, so I have this orange here. Let me pull this out. And I'm trying to make red orange. So what do I need more of to make it red orange? More red, right? It's closer to red on the wheel, so I need more red. So I'm going to go ahead while my thing is pure here and scoop out some red. It's going to be closer to red. Okay, I scooped out some red. Wash my brush, practice those good habits. I probably could get away with just scooping some orange red and adding it there and not contaminating, because these are mixed colors anyway. But again, good habit to keep your colors as pure as possible and take that 20 seconds to rinse your brush. Okay, so now I'm going to add orange to the red. Putting it on the side so I can keep going back and scooping more. Okay, let's see how that goes. Yeah, I think that's enough right there. It's definitely redder than the orange next to it. So I'm ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to paint this one here, red orange. It should be right in between these two colors. They do dry lighter, and you'll see that as it's drying it kind of looks kind of foggy, dark in places and light in places. They do dry lighter. And some of you might have painted with watercolor. You can't really paint wet next to wet in watercolor without it getting ruined. With tempera paint, what we're using, you can, as long as you're careful. Okay, so it flows and kind of blends down pure red, red, orange, orange. I think that's probably a good stopping point for today. So we'll work on yellow, orange tomorrow. I don't see any other places where I have red, orange except there, so I'm going to do that real fast. I don't have red, orange listed anywhere else. You might have them in your split complementary or analogous scheme, so check it out. Did you list red, orange anywhere else? If so, while you've got it made, while it's still wet, go ahead and add it in. It's going to be cleanup time pretty soon. Okay, so a couple notes there about how to save your paint now. I have orange and I have red orange. I'd like them to not dry out. As an egg carton, I'm definitely going to close it. It will dry a little in your locker. You can add just a few drops of water tomorrow and bring it back to life if there's enough there, okay? But a few. You don't want to water it down too much and make it streaky. If you're at home, if you have like a Tupperware container that you're using as your palette, put the lid on it, okay? Close it up, seal it so that air doesn't get to it. If you have aluminum foil, get another sheet and like wrap it around, or saran wrap on top of it. Yeah. If you have a plate, if you can find saran wrap, like that clear plastic wrap, or stick the whole plate in a plastic bag, like the bag I gave you for your brushes and toothpicks. Stick the whole plate in that and seal it. That would work. Just whatever you can do to keep it from being exposed to air and drying out. Okay, good question, Brooklyn.